Hello, and welcome to Life of a Boss, the podcast, hosted by entrepreneur, public speaker, and mentor, Jason Hardin. This podcast is all about helping audiences create and reach their own definition of success through positive thinking, perseverance, and personal development. Having survived extreme obstacles from an early age, such as cancer, poverty, abuse, family dysfunction, and even homelessness, Jason has learned how to master the art of resilience and defy all odds to become the boss he is today. So, get ready for some serious game and remember to keep an open mind. Now, without further delay, here is your host, Jason Hardin.
What's up, world, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Life of a Boss, the podcast. I am your host, Jason Hardin, and I'm extremely excited, as always, to be here. Today, I want to talk about how to bounce back from bullshit. How to bounce back from bullshit. And it's a touchy topic for me, personally, but I think I'm an expert at the subject. I mean, I have started over so many times. And I don't mean started over just like starting anew. I mean started from the beginning, from scratch, so many times. And I'm not going to lie, each time I get better, which makes the next time I lose my shit so much harder to deal with, but every time I have bounced back from the situation, and I have done so to get even further than I was before I got into the negative situation. And that's all I want to touch on today. I want to help those who think that they may have had it, they may have done something good, they may have done something great, they may have had it all at some point, they may have been happy at once upon a time, but for whatever reason, everything went to shit. I'm talking to y'all. Everything went to shit for whatever reason. And the crazy thing is, it doesn't matter what the reason was. I'm talking about bouncing back from shit that might have been your fault. Shit that could have been somebody else's fault. Shit that could have been the doctor's fault. Shit that could have been your lawyer's fault. Shit that could have been your car's fault. Shit that could have been your mama and your daddy's fault. It doesn't matter what or who put you in the shit you're in. It's always up to you how to get out of it. And that's why I'm talking to you, because nobody's going to get you out your shit but you. And there's a lot of motherfuckers out there waiting for a motherfucker to come save them from their shit. It's not going to happen. How many people out there think a relationship is going to save a motherfucker from their shit? I know a lot of people, they ain't got shit together. In dire straits right now, looking for a relationship, thinking a relationship is going to save them from their shit. Gonna take them away from all their shit. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, even if it does physically take them out some shit, they're bringing that shit with them. Because they haven't dealt with their shit yet. They haven't solved their real problem yet. Can't nobody take you out your shit but you. Everything I've been through, I can always blame somebody else. I'm good at that. I can figure out something somebody did that trickled some action that somebody else took that got me in my situation. I mean, I can do that. I guess I'm creative that way. I can go back in history and slavery and blame a lot of shit on a lot of shit. And I have done so. But the times I was doing that are times that I wasn't going very far in life. I wasn't getting anywhere near where I wanted to be. Because I wasn't owning shit. I wasn't changing the shit that I was doing. I wasn't changing how I was responding to anything. So the shit that I'd get into would last so much longer. But like I said, I've had practice. When you start over as many times as I have, you start picking up on the shit to do, right? And the shit that's only going to make this shit last longer. And over time, I figured it out. And I'm about to share with you. I'm going to give you 3. I can think of so much more, but I'm going to give you my top 3 best ways, hacks, tips, hints, whatever the fuck you want to call them, for bouncing back from bullshit. And like I said, it doesn't matter what kind of bullshit or who put you in the shit or the reason behind the shit. And they ain't in no particular order. Because like I said, I didn't prepare for this show. I just knew what I wanted to talk about, and I didn't write notes, so it's not going to be in any particular order. But the cool thing is, all this shit is off the top of my dome. All this shit is shit I've been through. Everything is proven. I wouldn't be here explaining any of this shit if any of this shit wasn't true, because I couldn't be here physically. If my mind wasn't in the place, if I wasn't in that boss mind state, if I wasn't who the fuck I became and wanted to be and needed to be who I am now, I wouldn't be here now. So everything I'm saying means something. Because I'm far from where I was. Mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm in a different place. I'm in the outer space compared to where I was. I was in a hole before. And that's the only thing I'm trying to get across. Like, everything on here is proven facts. Everything on here is shit that's been through the trials and tribulations. It's been through the science experiment. We done found a hypothesis to be true of all the shit that I'm talking about. I'm not here in the slums still. I'm not here in my immature mind giving you everything that worked for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't work if I was in any of those situations I was in before. So when I say I'm going to tell you 3 things that are going to help you bounce back from bullshit, best believe that these 3 things will help you bounce back from any. It can be self-inflicted. It can be caused by the weather. I don't give a shit what caused your problem. This can get you out of it. Are you ready? Get your pens, your paper, your notes, hit record, whatever the fuck you got to do. But please take notes here, because I don't want you to be your own obstacle. And one thing about getting into a wreck or getting into a bad spot or getting into a bad place or hitting your slump, it's like, it's very easy for that to be it. How many people you know quit the game or just disappear damn near off the face of the earth of people trying because they hit a snag in life? Never heard from them again. They got into drugs and they never got off. They got into some emotional or depression or some mental health issues and never pulled themselves out of it. Never got the help, never acknowledged the problem, never respected the fact that they had a problem. And didn't fix nothing, didn't do nothing, just stayed in their rut. How many people you know got out of a bad relationship in a bad way, like maybe a divorce, maybe something violent, and never came back from it? Never saw them happy again, never saw them living life anymore, never saw them out, never saw them on vacations, never saw them doing shit anymore. How many people lost a job and just never seen them bounce back? Lost a great job, talk about what they used to be. Never seen them have it anymore. Sometimes a bad patch can ruin a life. It can ruin a life. And it can ruin yours if you allow it. And it can ruin others if you allow it to ruin yours and disrupt your peace and disrupt who you are and destroy who you are. You can destroy other people's. You can hurt those around you, being hurt by not getting out of your bullshit, by not bouncing back. And I don't want that to be so. I want you to be able to be resilient, and that's the whole key to success. Like I say, there's a bunch of keys, and to be honest, it is. Success is like a school. You know what I'm saying? And the tools you need to be successful is like a fucking janitor's fucking key ring. You know what I'm saying? That's how many keys it takes to be successful. It ain't no one answer. It ain't no you doing one thing right and everything's going fine. No. You got to know what's key to pull out for what the fuck is going on right now. One of the keys to being successful is being resilient, man. There's some great fighters out there right now and in history. Awesome boxers, awesome MMA fighters. But I'm going to tell you about one thing that's common with every great fighter. They would not be great if they didn't know how to take a fucking punch. If they didn't know how to get back up after taking a fucking punch that was hard enough to knock them down. They wouldn't be great. They wouldn't be great if they didn't know how to take a punch in the fucking mouth. With no protection. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't be great. If you didn't know how to lose, you wouldn't be great. If you didn't know how to fall down and get back up, you wouldn't be great. If you didn't have to go through bullshit, nigga, you would not be great. Like, you have to go through some shit to prove yourself if you're great or not. It doesn't count if everything goes your way. You can't be great if the other team forfeits every fucking game because you playing. Yeah, you won the whole season, but every team forfeited. You never got to play a game against anybody, but you MVP. You might go down. You might get an MVP check. They might pay. Vegas might pay everybody to throw the game when you in the game, and you might be MVP champion of the world. But you know what? You ain't great. You haven't been challenged. You haven't been knocked on your ass, and you didn't get back up. So I'm going to give you 3 tools. 1. First tool, these are off the top of my head because this is just shit that works. I'm telling you shit that I've been through, and I'm going to tell you what works from getting out of the shit that I've been through. And one thing, it could be first, it could be last, but it's damn sure on the list, and it's definitely on my top 3 because I'm remembering it, is appreciation. It's natural to think about everything you done fucking lost when you take a loss, but you have to appreciate everything you still have. Seriously. I can't stress that enough. And no, it won't bring back the shit you lost. Appreciating what you have will not bring back the shit you lost immediately. Not just because you're appreciating what you don't have. That's not why we do it. Appreciating what you have will genuinely switch off, or at least stop the bleeding of the negative, because if you're only thinking about what you lost, you're not thinking about the air you're still breathing. You're not thinking about the place you might still have the rest of your head. And it's I don't know the situation. You might have lost your house, but you didn't lose your life. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate your life. You might have lost your spouse, but you didn't lose your freedom. Appreciate your freedom. Because there's been situations where I've lost the freedom. I lost the house. I've lost the positions. I lost titles. I've lost. And I couldn't look at a bright side. Sometimes it's hard looking at a bright side when you from inside of a fucking cell with no money, people turning their backs on you, name in the fucking media, horrible narratives going on, and people believe them and running with whatever. And the person that's doing all this still out there, free to talk more shit. I've been through it. And I came back from that to do the best I've ever done in life. I came back from that to be here. I didn't have this when I went in. By this, I'm meaning everything you can see. Why? Because I was appreciative. And each time I become more appreciative. And not just each time I take a fall, but each time I go through anything, I think about anything, every day, I'm appreciative. Every moment, anytime I'm not in pain, I'm appreciative. You might have lost this, and that, and you're not in pain. Be appreciative. There might be a motherfucker with everything in the world, got a toothache, fucking killing him right now. He's depressed, sad, hurt, can't get, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate. Number one. And that might be really the number one thing on the fucking list that you can do to bounce back from bullshit is to appreciate what the fuck you still have. Your freedom, your mind, your life, your bed, whatever it is you still have. And whatever you lost, let it go. I'm gonna tell you one thing, when I lose a phone or a wallet, the quickest thing I do now is just let it go. Sometimes I chalk that shit off and find it. Like I chalk that shit off so quick. I don't even go through the stress of looking too long for some shit when I know I lost something. I'm not gonna let it steal an ounce more joy from me. I'm not gonna let it steal any more time from me, any more peace from me. And that's the whole point. When you appreciate, you stop the bleeding of peace and joy and happiness. You stop that bleeding. Now, you might not be happy yet, but at least you stop the bleeding of feeling worse. And best believe, when shit happens, you can always feel worse. And that's what we're trying to stop. Some people just say they're not happy with stopping feeling worse. They want to. I learned something on this movie. Side note, it's called What the Bleep Do We Know? And in this movie, basically, I'm not going to give you the scientific terms and whatnot, but the gist of everything is you can be chemically addicted to an emotion. Meaning it's scientifically possible to become chemically dependent on an emotion. Chemically dependent. Like you was on drugs or something. Sweets, candy, whatever the fuck. Like you gotta have it. You know what I'm saying? Chemically dependent. Your body craves it like fucking heroin. Like if I don't get it, I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? So you can be chemically dependent on an emotion. So you got people out there upset, like to be upset because they're upset so much. That's their go-to feeling. Or sad or scared. Whatever the fuck they enjoy. And they look like they don't enjoy it. And they feel like, and they say they don't enjoy it, but their body gets some type of rush off being that way. Which is why it's so comfortable for them to be that way. Which is why it's comfortable not to change. It's easy to keep slipping down. Lower and lower into whatever issues and negative problems or shit you got going on. There's no limit to how bad you can do. But you have to see everything that's left over once you lose everything. Because I'm going to tell you, unless you get taken off the face of the earth and lose your life, soul just snuffed from your body, there's nothing that somebody can take from you that you ain't got some shit left over to appreciate, to build with, to start with. Because all you need is you. Give a fuck if you lose an eye, an arm. All you need is you. Now, if you lose your mind, I don't know what to tell you. I wish we had more places for people who have lost their mind because that's a real thing too. Skid Row is full of people who have never been able to get back up from their situations. And not that everybody doesn't get back up, because Skid Row is just a level. It's a level. You can get lower. Or you can hit it and bounce the fuck back up. I know people who were in Skid Row who have places to live now, who are doing very well now, who lived in missions on Skid Row and on the streets. It's not impossible. But you have to stop the bleeding some fucking where. And I like to start with appreciation. 2, action. Action. Gotta take some action. When you appreciate shit, that's great. That's great. Okay, that puts you in a good mind state. It puts you in a great mind state. Okay, now you're in a positive place again. You're not going downward mentally. You're not going further into depression and self-pity and all that shit. You get into a better place once you can appreciate shit again. But that's not enough. Now you got to take action. What action? I don't know. What applies to you? Is it making 1,000 phone calls? Is it knocking on 1,000 doors? Is it running? Is it stopping something? Is it quitting? Is it starting something? You know the action. And if you don't know, talk to someone, speak with someone, go to groups, go to meetings, go to whatever. There's a lot of free ways you can get in touch with you. When you go to groups and meetings and hear other people talk about their issues, you start reflecting. And when you start hearing people talk about issues that are far worse than the shit you've been through, you start being able to accept the shit you've been through a little more. I mean, it's kind of fucked up, but it's true. Sometimes we got to see somebody doing a lot worse to appreciate what the fuck we have and where we're at. So take action. Even if that action is starting to talk about your shit. Physically talk to someone about your shit. Make a phone call. Make an appointment. But the point is taking action. If you lost everything, man, take massive action and start getting it back. That's the quickest way to get it back. If I lost my job and every dollar I had, man, I'm going to be on a motherfucking street corner right now with all my fucking shirts or whatever product I have. Getting 5, 10, 20 sales a fucking day until I fucking got enough money in my pocket to make another move. I always have a hustle as a safety net. I mean, because I'm always dependent on me. I know where I can go if I lose it all. I can come in here. I got to tap into me, but I know that. There's a lot of people don't know what to fucking tap into themselves when they don't have shit. Because when you don't have shit out here, you still got to have shit in here. That's why we build shit in here before we start getting shit out here. This shit don't matter because someone can take it. They can't take this. They can't take this. Whatever you learn, whatever you experience, whatever you do, whatever you build in here and here, they can't take. That's why we constantly have to build. We constantly have to take action. Take action. So number 1 is what? Appreciate. You have to appreciate what you still have when you go through some bullshit. Because 11 times out of 10, you still gonna have something, man. I don't know. A lot of people who go through something, I lost everything, and it could feel that way. A motherfucker could just lose one motherfucker. I lost everything. Nah, nigga, that was one motherfucker. You still got your house, your car, your job, man. Some motherfuckers really be tripping off losing some shit that don't even mean shit. But no matter what it is, you can still bounce back from it. Because no matter what it is, you still have to bounce back from it. Some people lose all kind of shit that's important over losing some bullshit that's not. Know plenty of people like that. I've been there. I've taken other losses that were unnecessary because I lost something that I cared about that didn't mean shit. I just cared about it and focused on it way too motherfucking much and wanted it way too motherfucking bad and wanted shit to work out way too motherfucking much, and just with sacrifice and everything for it. Not do this, quit that, and just... There's no limit to how bad you can do. Appreciate. 2, take action. Take action. Go somewhere, do something, meet people, network. Don't ball yourself up into a little bitty ball and hide in a box and jump in a hole. And then try to pull the hole in after you. That, man, that might work for a split second. Yeah, of course, when we go through something, we might need some time alone to assess this. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let that be where you stay. Don't let that be where you stay for even too long. Go in there, cry, pout, whatever the fuck you gotta do, and then come the fuck back out here and get to work. Take action. Now, man, there's ChatGPT, man. That motherfucker will tell you the action to take step by step to get wherever the fuck you want in life. It prints out ingredients to whatever fucking result you want to have. In whatever genre, area, whatever the fuck. There are no more excuses. You not knowing what to do now is not an excuse. The only thing you have to do is want to do it and then take action. You start taking action. The moment you start taking action, you start replacing what you lost. You start building something better. You start replacing. You're creating more than what you lost once you start taking action again. Because now you're going in to some new shit with what you already know. With new ways to protect your shit, protect yourself. With new ways to make it happen, to get it faster because you did it, whatever it is. But taking action is it. Number 3. When getting over an issue, when trying to get over an issue, it's very important. And I don't like to use this number 3 because it might not work for everybody, but I'm going to say it. To be around positive people. Be around positive people. And I didn't want to even mention that because not all of us have positive people. I'm not going to lie. So what do you do when you don't have positive people? Stop being around negative people. That's the one thing you can do. You might not know a bunch of good folks that'll tell you good positive shit when you're going through shit. But if you know somebody who's only gonna rub that shit in or make you feel worse or get turned up and wanna do something more damaging because like, well, let's go get that motherfucker. Like, man, you have to stay away from those people. Drugs and all that, like some people just resort to numbing yourself. Getting fucked up. I'm gonna get fucked up. You don't want to get into a situation you can't come out of. You don't want to make the hole deeper. To get out of a hole, you rarely need a shovel. It's hard to dig yourself out of a hole without making that hole bigger. So be around some positive folks. And if you don't know positive folks, get to meeting some folks in positive places. Share some stories. Listen to some stories. When the motherfuckers got something good to say, listen to it. I'm going to tell you one thing. I was going through a court legal issues. It was the worst fucking experience of my life, one of them. I mean, I've been through several. So it was one of the worst experiences of my life. And it was court dates. It was appointments. It was classes. It felt like parole. was all kind of shit going on that I had to do every fucking month, every day, every week. All kind of shit nonstop for fucking years. And to be honest, 3 fucking years. Longer than that going through the shit, but 3 years of the legal part of the bullshit. And I remember in the first weeks of it, angry. I'm angry. I was upset, hurt, all that shit. But angry was was always at the top of my head. I was so mad at myself and at the person putting me through all this shit, or that I felt put me through all this shit. But like I said, I had to take ownership. I put myself in a bullshit situation. Put myself in a dangerous situation. Anyway, so I'm going through this shit, and it's like I said, just the beginning. I don't see no light at the end of this tunnel. I at the time, I felt like I was gonna be doing this forever. I was gonna be going through this shit forever, paying forever, court dates forever, with nothing forever. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see no end to the bullshit, and that's after everything being taken away. So now just compounding, like just physically don't have shit, and then just worst position I've ever been in, relatively speaking, recently. Like this is the last worst shit I've ever been in. But my stepsister, I give her all her props for the positivity she put into this one statement. We kicked it. We was hanging out because I had a lot of time on my fucking hands. We going hiking and shit, so we talking and all this shit. And she said something very fucking simple. Fucking remedially simple shit. You know, she said, it's gonna be over at some point. I mean, I'm sitting there talking about frustrated. I gotta do this, I gotta court, I gotta do this. And she said, it's gonna be over at some point, isn't it? And I thought about it. I'm like, well, shit, yeah. Everything I was going through had an end date. Everything I was going through had stipulations that if you did this and did this by this date, this should be gone. This should be over. You don't have to. And it's like everything. Everything that had a date, everything that didn't have a date, I didn't have to go through anyway. Everything that I was feeling and all that, I could have been left that shit alone. I didn't have to feel upset and sad and angry and all that. Like, that was just extra shit. But everything that I had to fucking do had an end date. So it made me think of, like, literally thinking of all the end dates. Like, yeah, by this year, by that year, by this time, by that month, by this week, by this date. Yeah, everything is going to be over. And as simple as that was, it put everything in perspective for the first time in a long time. Because when you're in some shit, I don't give a fuck how wise, smart, flawless, careful, all that shit you was before going in. When you're in some shit, you lose your fucking mind a little bit. You lose your skills. You lose your drive. You lose what made you awesome, man. I lost what made me great. I didn't want to create. I didn't want to do events. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be seen. You know, I didn't want to be asked the questions. I didn't want to be ridiculed and heckled. I didn't want to talk about the shit because a lot of people were blaming me for the shit. So it was one thing going through the shit, but then another thing being talked about while going through the shit. Because somebody believing the worst of you in the shit. Like, and it was just, like I said, it hit me from all angles. But what I'm saying, I had to use every skill that I learned from every other fucking issue to get through this. And what I'm saying is, I got through it. With what? I had to appreciate what I had. I had to take action. I had to fucking go to these classes, go to these meetings. I had to do shit to get the shit off my back. Because I could have easily said, you know what? Fuck these court dates. Fuck all this money. Fuck all this shit. I'm not dealing with it. You know what? I'm just going to get fucked up and kick it all motherfucking day. I'm done. I tried. Life hit me, man. I'm not supposed to be doing good. I guess it ain't. I'm supposed to be doing bad. I'm not so. You know, I could have copped out. I could have quit. It was easy for me to quit. It was easy for me to not give a shit. It was hard to do just those 3 things I said, and I had to do a lot of each one. I had to stay around positive people. I had to stay taking action. And I had to stay appreciating shit to get me up out of that. But I'm going to tell you, once I got out, I didn't stop at just getting out. Stratosphere. Next level. Living like I've never lived before. Enjoying life on a level I've never enjoyed it on before. Earning at a level I've never earned at before. You know, it's bouncing back, man. You can bounce back. Look at me. You don't think I've been through more than one fucking thing I'm telling you tonight? I've been going through shit since I got to this motherfucker. And by this motherfucker, I mean life. Bouncing back ain't shit to me no more, but it doesn't mean it's not hard. It doesn't mean it doesn't take effort. It doesn't mean it's not even intentional more. I intentionally have to bounce back. I intentionally have to make the decisions required to do better, to have better, to make shit work, to solve problems. I do shit. And that's all I want you to do is to take action and ownership over your shit. Because if you keep passing your shit as somebody else's fucking problem, it's because they're this way this is happening to me. It's because society's this way this is happening to me. It's because life and taxes and racism and all this shit is this way that this is happening to me. Okay, yeah, it might be true. What the fuck are you going to do about it? Because if you are giving them the credit, I hope you're not giving them the motherfucking permission to get you out of it, because they're not. If they put you in it, who gives a fuck about taking you out? Anybody that puts you in a situation don't give a shit about your situation. You see what I'm saying? So don't wait for the fucking problem to be the solution. You have to be your own solution. I love y'all, man. I'm going to let y'all go with that. Check the website out, lifeofaboss.net. Check out my new book. Get one for somebody you know or for your youngster. My First Hustle, from a boy to a boss. And it's all about entrepreneurship, inspiring the next generation to get it, to be able to solve their own problems, create their own solutions, make their own money, and take care of their own selves. You know what I'm saying? Because we're preparing them for the future. And I don't believe in dumbing kids down until they turn 18 and then say, this is the world, figure it out. Nah. I'm going to prepare them for that as soon as I see any child. I still walk my neighborhood literally the other day, and it might have been yesterday. And I see youngsters from my neighborhood that heard me speak at local colleges in the neighborhood that was at elementary schools when they had African American males conferences, and been to those conferences and heard me. Been to high schools I spoke at while they were in there. Now they 20 and 30 and just, whether they doing good or not, they remember. And when they remember, like, fuck, this motherfucker's gonna call me out on my shit, and I am. But I'm always gonna help. What can I do? Because helping people helps me this way. When I help strategically, it helps me. When I give y'all game, when I put you up on shit, when I tell y'all what I've been through and how I made it through shit, this shit helps me. Because it's positive reinforcement. It makes me remember what worked for me. Anyway, man, remember that success is indeed a lifestyle. I'm going to let y'all go with that. I'm all over my time. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I love y'all. Check out the website. Check out the book. Check out madeandina.com. They help pay the bills. And just continue to listen. Follow, like, subscribe, share. All that other good stuff. Leave a review. And engage with me. Follow me at Hardway Hardin on Instagram. At Jason Hardway Hardin on TikTok. Hardway Hardin on Facebook, and please join or ask to join. You got to request it. Get into the Life of a Boss Success Network. Nothing but game, inspiration, free information, invites to events that I have right here. And just come join the network, man. Come join the family. Be a part of this whole Life of a Boss movement and get yours. Create and live your own definition of success. And be with people to help you do that. And that's what we are. I'm going to leave you with that, man. I keep saying I'm going to leave. It's like when you're mad and you keep coming back, man, with my keys. You know what I'm saying? I keep trying to go out. I keep storming out, but I keep coming back in. I'm storming out. I'm gone now, for real. All right? I love you. Bye.
Did anything stand out to you in today's show? If so, let us know. Your questions, comments, and concerns are important to Jason, as he is determined to always deliver to you only the most impactful information and content. Until next time, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and leave a review whenever possible. You may visit lifeofaboss.net for more episodes and great resources to help you become the absolute boss that you were meant to be. You can also follow Jason on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Hardway Hardin. Thank you. And to never forget that success is a lifestyle.